Hummus.
It's pretty big, isn't it?
It's
So there you go. Alright, so we've got boxes of goodness. Alright, so you got 1.3 meters of the biggest Titanic kit produced so far. So 1 to 200 scale.
I can't get you that one, but you don't put single.
It's looking pretty impressive so far. I mean, simply size of the box. Okay, so we open it up. We've got our basic painting guide. So they've indicated a lot of the colour numbers from the GSI range. It's got aqueous and then also the Mr. Colours. Here, they've got Valero numbers as well. Monomaster, which unfortunately isn't available outside of America anymore. Tamiya Colours and Humbrol. So it makes it very easy for everyone that's already into kits with these particular colours already in stock. So we've also got the really big manual. So this is the construction manual. Got a lot of photos, and then you've got the story on the history, and here we start getting to the build. So you get straight into the hull. So you get straight into the hull, and you start adding all the decks onto it. Now we'll start looking at the bits and pieces in a moment, but I'll just quickly go through the instructions. So you can see each deck being put together. PE parts being the photo wedge. So we'll look at the photo wedge that they include. So there's some railings, and you can see there's the window covers. Such more deck, as you can expect. There's a lot of decks. So you've got these are the chandelier type glass housings over the main stairwells for the ballroom and such. Getting into the bow, all the finer details. You've got the cranes. Across here you'll have the anchors, anchor chain over the crane. So this is the area where Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet were doing their flying motion in the movie. Okay, then you've got the back end here. A lot of fine details, which you won't see on any of the smaller kits. Got all the stained glass frames, they're all photo etched. These are the window frames here as well. And again, the glass domes. Okay, there's more photo etch here for observation points. Parts of this, that's probably the gymnasium there, I think. And then as we're getting up to the top of the ship, we're getting into the funnels. So a lot of photo etch here. Also, all the ladders, all photo etched. All the funnels, of course. And the funnels are mounted. All the some of the plumbing involved. And then we're heading towards the end of the construction. So you get all these little areas here, which are all photo etched. And then you get into the smaller staircases, which are all photo etched. I have to keep all the detail nice and fine, because otherwise if they were in plastic they'll be really chunky. We've got all the first class chairs. There's some deck chairs here as well. And then you get into the life raft davits and the mounting points. It's quite interesting because there's a lot of parts of these. They look really nice. Then famous lifeboats get mounted up, and then you get final finishing of all these photo etched railings. Photo etched railings really add to a ship because they're so thin. This is all the final railings, all photo etch. Getting up to here, you've got the cranes going in. Cranes are all photo etch as well. Keeps it all very nicely scaled. And then you got your masts. So you got front end mast here that'll have the crow's nest in it right there. So it's a famous point where they didn't have binoculars to look out for the icebergs, and they were just standing up there using their natural vision trying to find danger. And there you go, there's a completed model mounted on its base, which is also included. Now that's the main construction manual. They also have a manual for doing the lighting. So lighting is a manual in itself. So all the LEDs, wiring, and the power looms are included. So you see there's reels of the LED. You got the USB wiring to get the power. There's pre-wired plugged cable. You got other loose wire here, heat shrink, resistors for each of the LEDs. And then you have yellow, red and green LEDs included as well. So we'll quickly go through here. So talk about cutting the LED strip in particular spots, drilling the hull for the power wire to go through, so that'll be hidden by the base. And then this will be all the soldering of all the individual wires to power up the LEDs through the upper decks. So you show the upper decks and how they're fixed to the ceiling sections, and then they're all fully wired through each little deck. As you can see here, the wires are going through the staircase. Going up a bit higher. So at least there's these little plugs which make it easy, so you can build it up in modules and then click it back together. Getting into all these finer parts, soldering, doing large areas. So this is fitting in the, I guess these are the spot type LEDs which are projecting the light up against the funnels. Fitting on resistors. More resistor fitting, and then you get to, this is like a power hub here. So multiple resistors going to a point, so earthing point, and here again on another decking. And then that's all plugged together. So it just goes through to a USB type power box with a little switch, and then it all drops in together, and then it's all lit. So it's the upper end that's lit, standard out of the box. Most people probably want to light the bottom as well, and that would be very easy to do. You just have to add a few more LEDs, but all the wiring is there to take all the power, so that'd be simple. Just drill out a few holes for all the portholes. That'd be great. Okay, so that's the instructions. Let's put that aside and let's start looking at the plastic bits. So let's look at the hull first, because I think that is going to be the most impressive and give you an idea of the size. So same length as the box, so it's 1.3 meters. Let's pick it up here. There you go. Now that's all one piece molded. It's very thick, so once everything goes on top, it's going to hold its form very well. And because of the thickness of this, I think if you wanted to ready control it, it wouldn't be that difficult. So you just need to organise your prop shafts, your rudder, power system, and a radio. Okay, so that's nice. Alright, I'll pop it back and let's look in some of the smaller boxes. So that's all protected with a bit of foam. so. Right, so we've got 4 smaller boxes in here. Might be more actually, there might be something underneath. So let's start with this one here. There are multiples underneath, so we'll get to each one in a sec. Alright, so here we go, we've got funnels. So the funnels are generally one piece, which makes it much nicer because you don't have all the join lines here to clean up. Because when you're cleaning these up, you'll lose a lot of your detail. So it's all very smooth. So there's another set here, so they're all funnels. Okay, so here's your stern deck. There's a rounded section there. Got your bow deck there. A bit hard to see because it's all very well protected. Right here, you've got various decks. Right here, hard to say, but this could be like the gymnasium room deck. You got your little dome that goes across here. Little window there as well. All the upper end here. So side detail is really clean. So it must be slide molded, I imagine. Because if this was a single mold, the mold would generally come up from here. You wouldn't be able to get all this side detail. See like these little portholes here on the doors. Also, if it was a 2-part mold, when it comes up, you'll see deformation in the angle, so it can be pulled out of the mold, but these are dead straight. Very clean. Okay, so you got some more deck here. I mean, that's pretty much what you see in a ship. There's a lot of deck. Okay, so this you can't really see, but these feel rounded, so these would be parts of the glass domes. Glass domes and other clear parts. So there's perhaps some more skylighting in there. And here we go with some photo etch. Okay, so there's some of the railings. That's single-sided. That's double-sided. That appears to be the same. Okay, so you've got areas here. These are around the funnels. You got this is the funnel ladder. There's some steps. You got the crane components. These are all the windows along the sides. And you just have an idea of how nice these will look. Because you're thinking about the frames here, they'll be half a mil, 1/3 of a mil. These are all the chairs that go along the decks. Super fine, super thin. Okay, then we've got, so that's identical again because you've got 4 funnels. And then you've got this extra bit here, so you've got some more deck railing. And here you've got an observation, that's probably the compass tower. These are parts of stairs. More stairs here with the handrails. Very impressive. Okay, let's just quickly put all this back and we'll go through all the next boxes. This. Pop that one there. Let's go to this one.
Okay, presses. They started at 200.
Really tight boxes. Okay. Alright, so chunky bits in here. This looks like the base. It is the base. Alright, so what do we have here? So these would be the uprights for the base. So you got one on each end to support the hull. Got some more upper deck rooms. That's the base. So you see it's got the markings for the Titanic here, the scale, then also the Trumpeter logo. So through the centre, so this is the area where you could drop down the wires and have your power base here for powering up your LEDs. So if you
Come around this side.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the sides. So these are the upper deck sides.
This has a storage tank.
From memory, this will probably be around where the that appears to be the front, I think. Luckily, really sharp portholes. I see a huge deck section here. So you notice that all these windows here, these will be fitted with the photo etch frames at a later stage.
Thank you very much. That's essentially the same thing to that.
Okay, and here you have the propellers.
Fairly noisy.
You've got the prop shaft supports here.
Yeah, even though it's called an engine,
There's the rudder.
yeah, I was not sure.
Some more of the upper deck. Appears to be roofs. They look like lifeboat davits here. And this would be a support. These are two supports across the bottom of the hull.
Yeah, sitting there on my desk.
You have a set of decals.
They're still kind of
Okay. Let's pop that back. Okay, let's get this one here.
I mean, I still, they all do the job.
There we go.
I ended up just going to one pretty well. They're just
Okay. What do we have here? So, a bit hard to see. These appear to be deck funnels and such. Very hard to see, unfortunately. But these are finer details. They're all very small parts. Leave that there. Oh, here's some more parts of the side of the hull. There we go. So there's the front end. So the captain would have been in here. There's the two lookouts for the sides of the boat. Let's see. These, not too sure, they're probably funnel parts. You can see some pumps here. They're probably air pumps. These are parts of the cranes along the sides. This will be predominantly smaller parts, a bit hard to see. You can see some of the air funnels here. And there'll be a lot, so hence why there's the two sprues. There. Okay, this one appears to be identical. So, as you expect, a lot of those smaller parts of the decks. And here we go for the lower section. So, I mean, these are supports for the lower decks. Quite wide. And then we have. Okay, so this one's a bit hard to see, but if I hold it up to light, let's see there's the long mast with a crow's nest, and there's some finer parts such as plumbing and a few window parts there as well. And then this one here. These are parts of the bases for the cranes. Okay, so lots of bits, plenty more to come. So we've got another 2 boxes to look at. So let's go back here.
It saves you money down the track too, because I don't know about you, but when I first started out, I was doing most of my iceberg and
Okay, let's see what's in this bigger box here.
it wasn't long before I was
Things on the side.
raising the spray can out of it.
Alright.
After a while,
What do we have here? Alright. So we've got a lot of deck here.
where you can get like a really covered
So you can see some of the planking detail on the exposed parts here.
close to
Most of this will be used to support the upper decks. Like so. Again, we'll just make out the decking. And there again. So that's it for this one. Up there, and then the final box will be the lighting kit. Okay, so that's all sealed up. So you've got the USB cable here for your power. So it ends up in bare wires. So they'll be operating off basically 5 volts. Got all your LEDs here. Inside this big packet will be the big reel of surface mount LEDs. And then you've got all your finer wires and the various coloured larger LEDs inside of here. So that's it. That's the open box review of the huge Titanic by Trumpeter. If you love the Titanic, you can't go past this one. This would be a enormous, very impressive model in any home, and the building of it would be quite intensive. So there you go. Enjoy.